Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, and also a member of our Veterans at Nasdaq Diversity and Inclusion Group. And on behalf of Veterans at Nasdaq, we are extremely proud to welcome K-9 Project Hero to the market site in Times Square, New York City. And joining us, we have Jason Johnson. He is the co-founder of Project K-9 Hero. And we also have Axel, the star of the show. He's a retired law enforcement service animal. Jason, it's so great to have you with us at MarketSite. Welcome. And tell us more about Project K-9 Hero.
Absolutely. We're a national nonprofit that helps retired law enforcement dogs like Axel here and military working dogs with medical care once they leave service. But a lot of people don't know that once a dog like Axel serves their country, whether it be in law enforcement or military, there's no public funding in place to help them with their medical care once they retire.
And it could be quite expensive, the medical care that they require. It's not like a traditional vet bill.
Absolutely. These dogs have served our country, putting their bodies on the line for a number of years, sometimes up to eight years or 9 years. And that wear and tear really takes a toll on them, so they don't have the normal problems that your normal pet may have. For example, Axel suffers from lung cancer. He has megaesophagus, pannus, and an allergy disorder. So he's roughly about $12,000 a year for his care. And right now we're working hard with Congress to establish the K-9 Hero Act to help get some public funding to help care for retired law enforcement canines and military working dogs like Axel.
All right, and he worked for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. There was a special response team in Detroit, Michigan. What kind of training is required for a service animal like Axel?
Well, Axel's a full tactical canine, so his job was to go on high-risk search warrants and make sure that no one escaped, if there were people barricaded, if someone needed to be apprehended, anything that might require a highly trained tactical dog like that. Also, his presence alone with the tactical team gives that level of security and other things. So what Axel would do, basically, he may be on the entry of the house, or he may be surrounded the premises to make sure that nobody, these are high value targets or very dangerous criminals, were to escape custody.
Do they have all different kinds of training? So military working dogs might have one specific skill set, and law enforcement dogs have others. They might have all different kinds of skill sets. He's tactical.
Yes.
There might be other verticals that they train under.
Oh, absolutely. So Axel, he can rappel from helicopters, do water insertions, do different things like that on a tactical level. Some dogs are strictly narcotics dogs who go and look for drugs. Dogs that you see in the airports, they look for explosives. Some are search and rescue dogs. No matter what their working discipline may be, Project K-9 Hero, we help with all of those disciplines. So if they served in the military, law enforcement in any manner, we're here to help them in their retirement with their medical care.
And you have trained law enforcement animals?
I was a former instructor at the ATF, and I trained explosive dogs. I was also a military police officer. I was also a police SWAT canine. I was a SWAT officer and a canine handler in narcotics, and I've trained law enforcement all around the world.
How long does it take to train?
Each dog's different. So a narcotics dog could take 6 to 8 weeks, where an explosive dog could take 8 to 12 weeks, and a tactical dog like Axel could take 20 weeks to 24 weeks. But no matter their level of training, the training always has to continue. That's just enough to get certified and get out on the street. From there, they have to train every week to stay proficient in their skills.
All right, now let's get back to Project K-9 Hero. Tell us about the different ways we can get involved in some of the events that you have going on.
Sure. Well, our website's a great way to check us out at projectk9hero.org, and people follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Project K-9 Hero. You'll see our logo on there. But right now we have a few things that we're working on. One's the K-9 Hero Act that I mentioned. We're working on that with Congressman Ron Wright out of Texas. And that's a bill, HR 5081, we have on the floor right now. We have a page dedicated on our website. So if you go to projectk9hero.org, you'll see the K-9 Hero Act page. And it'll talk a little bit about how we're trying to establish funding for retired law enforcement, federal law enforcement, military working dogs, and how you can contact your congressman or senator to get them to support that bill so we can see that actually be made into a law.
All right, Jason, thank you so much for joining us at MarketSite. And Axel, thank you for joining us as well. And on behalf of Veterans at Nasdaq, I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.